In the Democratic Republic of Congo, a tragedy has claimed the lives of at least 78 people. A boat carrying nearly 300, including women and children, capsized on Lake Kivu. Such mishaps have become a recurring catastrophe across Africa. But these incidents in Africa often go unnoticed. In contrast, when similar tragedies unfold in richer countries, like the one in Sicily in August, where 7, including a British billionaire, died, the world was fixated with the incident making global headlines. This disparity points to the sobering reality that the world doesn't see all lives as being equal. Our report gets you all the details.
Dharura ilikuwa mingi, ndio basi ikatuangusha tu kumani. Basi kwa neema ya Mungu si tulipona. Na wengine walikuwa mingi, mimi nilikuwa natoka kukilio desha tukaranti.
78 lives lost, each one a tragedy as a boat sank in the vast depths of Lake Kivu in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Desperate to survive, some on board threw themselves into the lake as the boat started to capsize little by little. But in no time, it tilted to one side and began to sink, with those on board left powerless to stop it, their cries fading into silence. The victims' bodies lay shrouded in white cloth as their families mourned the loss. Women and children were among those swallowed by the relentless water. Authorities fear the death toll will climb in the coming days as the arduous task of recovering the dead continues. This vessel, crammed with nearly 300 people, had set off from Minova in South Kivu, only to sink mere meters from its intended destination on the Goma shore. On the banks of the lake, grief-stricken families wail for those who will never return.
I was sitting next to the captain in the wheelhouse. There was a light breeze and small waves. It wasn't a big wave because even very small boats could navigate easily. But I was stunned to see the boat muddy, overturned and drown everyone. There were over 300 people on board. I am one of the survivors. We escaped the boat by the grace of God. It was God who saved me. But many women and children drowned along with everything they had with them. The cargo, the money from goods, all of it is gone.
Tragically, this is not an isolated incident. Just 2 days ago, 2 migrant boats sank off Djibouti's coast, claiming at least 45 lives, with 61 still missing. The boats were carrying 310 desperate souls across the unforgiving Red Sea. Search teams continue to scan the waters, clinging to the fading hope of finding someone alive. Then there was the deadly boat accident that unfolded in Nigeria's Niger state, where a boat with nearly 300 passengers sank. At least 60 lives were lost, including women and children. They were returning from a religious festival. Emergency personnel were able to rescue about 160 people, but no one knows why and how the boat sank. Officials say there's no way that one can survive 3 days underwater. In June, another horrific boat accident in the DR Congo took over 80 lives after 2 boats collided on the Coup River. Investigations were promised, committees were formed, and questions were raised. Yet little has changed. Overloaded vessels, inadequate safety measures, and a lack of life jackets remain the grim norm in Africa's waterways, where tragedy strikes with tragic regularity. For many, boats are the only option, as road travel often means traversing conflict zones and dodging deadly encounters between government forces and insurgents.
The government knows that the road is inoperable. All of this is part of the consequences of the war, yet they keep talking about the war. They no longer make an effort to clear the enemies of the road so that it can become operational again. When this road facilitated traffic, such catastrophes didn't occur. What just happened is due to the war. The government should stop pretending. They should tell us clearly if they have already sold us out to the enemy or take action. Otherwise, they should all step down.
Each year, hundreds perish in these watery graves. Yet the world barely pauses to notice. Contrast this to the response when a luxury yacht, the Alyson, sank off the coast of Italy 2 months ago. A British billionaire was on board, and the world watched with rapt attention. Special divers and teams were mobilized, and news updates flooded the airwaves. 7 people lost their lives. A tragedy, no doubt, but it dominated headlines globally. Meanwhile, Africa's tragedies unfold in silence, drowned out by indifference. How many more people will die before the world remembers that these lives matter too? Or will they continue to be mere footnotes in a world that only pays attention to the wealthy and powerful?
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.